Internet-ing.
Is that what we do? Internet-ing.
Yeah.
Did you know that BMFcast is now live on our channel?
I was aware because I hit go.
Crazy.
Man, I'm so glad they notified us. And not all of our subscribers.
They wouldn't dare.
I mean,
They don't want to bother them.
Probably should have if they rang the bell, right?
Yeah, but no one rings the bell.
Oh.
They don't want to bother them. People are busy.
Because most people rightfully think that if you subscribe to something, you will receive notifications about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
But it's like, no, how about an extra layer? Fuck you.
Ba-ba-ba. Somebody rang the bell.
Boom. I rang the bell.
Leola's a
At
bell
Taco
ringer.
Bell.
Run for the border. Leola's a bell ringer.
She rang the bell. Good job ringing
Yeah.
that bell. We appreciate you. You follow directions.
Yeah. Ring my bell.
I'm going to turn it to live
Ring,
chat
ring
so
my
I can
bell.
get the unwashed
Right.
masses.
Hey, Brian rang the bell.
Right.
Great job, Brian. We see you.
'Cause he's a free man.
Leola and Brian.
Do you know Gordon?
Lightfoot?
No, Brian. Does Brian
No.
know Gordon?
I know a Gordon.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you? Yeah.
You
know
know them.
Gordo? Oh, yeah, I guess I do know a Gordon. Somebody became a Gordon.
He became a Gordon.
Yeah.
We all know the Gordon's fisherman.
Well, I mean,
Of course we
not
do.
personally.
No. We do.
Oh, I mean, I know Mrs. Paul, but I've never
Oh.
met the Gordon's fisherman. I mean, I know Mrs. Paul. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Mm.
Mrs. Paul likes fish sticks.
Does she trust the Gordon's fisherman, if you know what I mean?
She does.
Nice.
Yeah. She likes a good Long John Silver.
Oh, there goes our one viewer.
What? Huh.
What?
How about you,
She likes the
Captain
Captain D's.
D's. Yeah. How about you, Captain D's nuts?
Oh, my God.
I had Captain D's for lunch today.
Did you?
I
Wow,
did.
they
How
still
was
exist?
it?
It's fine.
They survived the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I alone ensured their survival.
Okay.
I spent like $900 on Captain D's in the last 2 years.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we
It's all-
do we still not have a Long John Silver's in town?
The closest one is like New Smyrna Beach or something.
Ugh.
Or Daytona.
I don't know who chased off all these franchises.
Captain D's.
Well, then they should open a Captain D's closer to where other people live.
Well,
There's
what
one near me.
franchise are you worried about now? They got chased off.
No, I just like
Like 7-Eleven got
7-Eleven was gone forever.
Well,
They're
was,
back.
That
I know.
was because of the Gate family.
I
or
know, but
whatever they are.
like, did the Gate family buy off Fazoli's and Jamba Juice and
Peyton's?
Peyton? Yeah, I was like, what is their last name?
Oh, Fazoli's sucks. Fazoli's is so fucking
So
awful.
Fazoli's is awesome in other places than here. The Fazoli's that open
I had
here.
Fazoli's in Gainesville, and it was dog shit. It
well,
was
you-
like a
you
dog
just-
vomited
You just said
tomato
two
sauce.
words together that
You said other places. Gainesville is another place.
I want to drive up to a window and be handed a bucket of fettuccine alfredo
Okay.
that I could take home and sit in front of the TV
in give or
eat.
give or take
just-
1997, 1998, Fazoli's in Orlando was
Oh, in
fucking amazing
Right.
because like for $3 you could walk in and eat like unlimited breadsticks and garlic sauce and shit.
Oh, okay.
And
So
you're-
that was
and-
like college days.
Yes.
So your opinion
Yeah.
doesn't count.
Uh,
All you
that's-
wanted to do was consume cheap calories.
Sure, but it was also awesome.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done it twice if it sucked.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
because it's fucking cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, I will also say there was a CC's Pizza that was amazing right by UCF as well.
Yep.
CC's Pizza can be pretty good. Okay, not pretty good. Pretty good for paying $3.99 for a buffet.
Yeah.
It's like $7.99 now, but
I mean, college food good, like really good college food good, like that like those were treats. Like holy shit, we're going to CC's or Fazoli's to.
I'm just saying there are all these franchises that surround this city that we don't have, and we used to have some of them, and I want to know why they got chased off.
Yeah, we had Fazoli's in Jacksonville for like 6 months. I swear to God,
Yeah.
it was like they were like, "Hey, whatever thing that was keeping us away is gone. We open, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're closing now."
I think it was a mob front
Yeah.
of some kind.
Well, there were
Probably
weird
still is.
things inside Duval County where Jacksonville is. Duval, in case you don't know, but if you watch the. Good
if you're
Place.
unaware,
Yeah.
we are Duval.
But like, there were several things. Like there were other like we never had like a Texas Roadhouse inside. Like there was only ones in Clay County. There was like weird things that
Right.
would like keep people out of Duval County for some reason.
this is the question
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is.
Who has set these rules?
Probably.
I think it's
who knows?
probably just because those things aren't profitable. Like didn't the Texas Roadhouse at the Redneck Town Center close down?
Yes.
Yeah, eventually. But I mean, it was there for like 30 years and super popular. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it was always there and never in Duval.
No. So there was one at on the north side.
Yeah.
In Ocean Way. That Ocean
there?
Way Town Center or
Okay.
North Side Town Center.
That's gone.
Market Square, whatever it is. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's gone.
Yeah.
But like, there's a bunch of shit that just Jacksonville wouldn't support.
Right.
Like Italians. I'm kidding. No.
Taking down Confederate statues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got one, didn't we?
I don't know.
I think we got one.
I mean, we still have schools named after horrible people, so, you know, there's that.
less and less every year.
Yeah,
which
less
is,
and
which
less
is
every
good.
year. Yeah.
Hooray for Riverside High School. But yeah,
If-
I think just Jacksonville can't
What was
support them.
Riverside? Which one was that?
That was Lee.
That was already Lee,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, well, okay. That's probably a good one to start with.
Yeah, that is probably the best one to start with, except maybe Forest.
Yeah, Forest is
Forest should go away
Forest
real hard.
real.
Oh,
yeah.
it's already that's Westside High School.
Oh, is it? Okay.
All right.
As an
And
adult man, I don't keep up on the high school,
Yeah.
so but I'm glad to hear both of those. Okay, good. So they got the top two on the list.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Thank
I
you.
was like, yeah.
They still got fucking Stonewall Jackson Elementary. and,
Sure.
Uh,
Hell, the name of the fucking city.
Yeah. What's the other one?
I think we should just go
Jeff
back to being-
Davis
we should just
Middle
go-
School.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a bad one, too. We should probably just go back to being Calford. I'm for that.
I'd be fine
Sure.
with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or we could be
South Brunswick.
Weelaka would be cool. South Brunswick, no.
Yeah. Well, because like, I don't think we're in Georgia. No, we're in Georgia. We're not in Florida.
Right. We'll be South St. Mary's.
Okay.
That's better than Brunswick.
Valdosta East.
East Glen St. Mary.
We can be Gainesville Senior.
That was back in Florida, though. Sort of. I mean,
Yeah.
Gainesville's still fake Florida, but yeah.
Or
Doesn't
North
matter.
St. Augustine.
Yeah, I like that. Just make it all St. Augustine. Just one big giant city. Like
We'll call it First Coast.
Yeah.
Combine two counties instead of just one county combined into one city. We'll take over from Juneau as the largest landmass city in the entire United States.
Gainesville used to have a place called Media Play, and it was the greatest shit ever.
what was Media Play?
Media Play was basically a giant, like I'm trying to think of another store that.
Like arcade or video house?
No, it was like you go here to buy laser discs
Okay,
and
yeah.
that kind of shit. But it was like Suncoast in the mall if Suncoast was the size of the mall. It was insane.
Okay.
That sounds awesome.
The shit it ruled, and then someone chased it away, and then physical media died. But it was gone long before that.
There was. Is that
That would have been like FYE and CD Warehouse and shit like that. Chase.
Gainesville had the covered dish, right? That was their little club. One of their
That's
clubs. Or
one
is
of
that-
them, I think. They had like
I know, but that
There's
was like
been
one
a
of the
million.
good ones.
Did you know
yes.
that Atlanta still has 2 CD warehouses?
Really?
Yes, I went to them.
Are they the official CD Warehouse?
Oh,
like
right. Yeah. That one of them was up in
Right next to that mall,
Yeah.
Yeah. The Stranger Things mall, next
Right.
to the Waffle House that's now a We Buy Gold. It's literally next to the We Buy Gold Waffle House, where they've put We Buy Gold into the Waffle House letters.
That's pretty good.
We
don't have any
I think
Huddle
they. I
Houses
think they
around
left the
here.
W. That's the
Not
best
many.
part too. Is I'm pretty sure it's all different font,
Yeah.
but the W.
They
is
kept the Waffle House
W,
W,
Perfect.
and then we
and all the other ones are different, different font or typeface, if you prefer.
whatever. Mackey's not here. It's a font.
Yeah, we don't have our font
Type-
of knowledge.
Type font. Closest Long John Silver's, by the way, is Ocala. It's only 80 miles away.
Not worth it.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
it's
not.
fucking Long John Silver.
If there was still one on Atlantic, that would be worth it.
Yeah.
but-
No, it would. You'd die there. Don't consume food on an Atlantic Boulevard. That's a good rule.
There's a Chic on Atlantic Boulevard.
Unless it's the Denny's.
and that
Oh,
Don't
Chic
God.
consume.
rules.
Don't
Oh, no,
consume
that chic is
food.
awful.
The Chic
Don't
rules.
consume food on Atlantic Boulevard.
The Chic is awesome.
I went to that Denny's a lot.
Yeah,
that
I know.
Denny's on
Back in the
Atlantic.
day, yes,
Fuck, I
sure.
was there
Everything
so
is different
much.
with time. Now, do not consume any food on Atlantic Boulevard.
What about beach? Is beach okay?
Actually,
There's
I
no
take that back
restaurant.
'cause
There's
I-
only like one restaurant.
Actually, I
on
take
Beach
that back because
Boulevard.
that might be is it Beach or Atlantic where the Soul Food Bistro is? Because then I would take it all back.
That's Atlantic, but it's on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
that's
it's
way out
The
at
good
the
part of it.
yeah at the
Yeah.
wealthy white people end.
I wouldn't go Curtin super wealthy, but all right. Anyway, we're talking
Not
about
like- not
roads.
rich,
We're talking
just-
about roads that are in places that you aren't. So this is
Just
fun.
look them up.
This is
Just
fun.
Take your
But we
geography
mentioned.
lesson.
I mean, you know what a Soul Food Bistro is. I mean, that's kind of in the
Yeah,
name.
you know
well,
what that is.
yeah,
It's
it's called Potter's House. If you're ever in Jacksonville, go to Potter's House.
Well, I think Potter's House is the actual like original one, but then the
Yeah,
other
you
one's
can
just called-
find it.
Yeah,
They're
but the
both
other one
the
is
same
just-
thing.
Yeah, but the other one, I think actually one other one is just called Soul Food Bistro. But I could be wrong. It could be Potter's House Soul Food Bistro. Potter's House, to give you some backstory, is like a weird mall / church / restaurant. It's like it took over an old mall, and there's still like a tiny bit of retail. I think
It
in there.
starts with a church.
Oh, it starts with a
It
church.
starts with the Potter's House,
Right.
which is a primarily black church. I don't know which denomination, but it's some sort of Christian. And they decided to open up a restaurant in this like shitty little X mall that
Mhm.
is actually doing okay. There's still like businesses in there somehow.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it's all like, family friendly, Christian bookstore type things. But I mean, it's like it's just odd because it's like they took over like a department store and made it like a mega church, like a large gathering assembly place.
Yeah.
And then there's a sizable restaurant, and then the rest is like some
There's
odds and ends.
there's a gym there that I think is vaguely Christian affiliated. So I don't really
Like
look
the
in that
Lord's
direction.
Gym.
Yeah.
Get swole for Jesus.
Sorry, no, that was those shirts back in the day.
Yep,
with,
yep.
like, Jesus carrying the cross. Yeah, sorry.
And then there's like, you can get your hair done there. There's a few places like that.
It's
just like a weird
place
little.
I should go for an afternoon.
Oh, it's fun.
Come over to my side of town and have
gone there
some soul food.
Have
man.
some
plenty of
laughs.
There's also an O'Reilly's right across from the.
Auto parts?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's weird. So like, there's a Winn-Dixie, and then there's this mall that's not like attached to the Winn-Dixie,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a strip mall over here,
Yep.
which has an O'Reilly's, a Sally Beauty Supply, and
Yep.
a like.
Stop
Typical stuff.
stop in and get a muffler because you're gonna be farting out all that red velvet cake.
Listen, the desserts are good, but
yeah, but the chicken and the
don't save
cornbread.
room for the desserts because the fucking food is amazing.
Yeah.
Like the
Well-
cornbread is slap your mama good.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the red velvet cake is like you should take a slice home because it's.
And
If
then
you-
remember that you ate red velvet cake.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you like red velvet cake, which I do, but my body does not. So I'm just saying,
fair.
like,
That's most food with me.
well, that's especially with that. Like, I somehow regain the ability to eat cheesecake again in moderation.
Oh,
but
congratulations.
yeah, red velvet cake fucking destroys me.
Yeah.
It's all the information you need to know.
This is the kind of stuff you get on a live stream.
That's why you get the
Hell
free
yeah.
show bonus. Is
Yeah.
like our dietary habits.
Talk about food that makes us shit.
I didn't say that. I mean, most food does make you shit. That is kind of the nature
mean,
of shit
yeah.
of food and shit.
I mean, immediately.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, I'm sorry, I have to stop eating so I
Yeah.
can go take care of business.
There's
Right.
not one food for that for me. It's just every once in a while I'll eat something and my body's like,
Yeah, no, we don't want this.
no.
Hit the reject button, which
Get
is also
out.
the eject button.
hmm
Anyway, let's
It's
talk.
more frequent the older I get, but there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
like pattern to it. It's just
Yeah.
like I can eat, I could eat any of the fast food things, and
I just realized
a random one might.
I got to retry red velvet cake. I just realized all my problems with red velvet cake were usually after having eaten at the Soul Food Bistro, after having consumed mass amounts of fried chicken when I had a gallbladder and my problems.
Oh,
So
This sounds like
I'm
a
saying-
venture for you.
I'm saying, like, I think that
Uh,
like my gallbladder reacting to the fatty chicken was fucking up my system and not allowing me to eat red velvet cake.
come on over to the neighborhood on
Yeah.
Friday. I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean,
It's Friday.
Yeah. Come over like 2:00.
yeah, get some midday.
We'll eat
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you missed the lunch rush.
True.
It's Friday. There will be a lunch rush.
It's time to party.
Yeah.
Man, it's a date.
He
Friday.
didn't say yes.
This Friday? Yeah, maybe.
Do
Sure.
it.
'Kay.
Do it.
I mean, yeah.
Eat the red
Let me check my
velvet.
schedule. Oh, it's open.
Cool.
But-
Pencil it in.
No, I'm gonna ink it in, motherfucker. I don't.
Okay.
When I commit, I commit.
Fucking ink it.
Yeah.
It's inking in my mouth.
I don't know. You backed out of our Pinball Palace trip
Okay. Well.
a couple months ago.
Yeah, but I had a good reason for
You
that. I had a really good reason for that. Speaking of that, like.
When I commit. Well, but I got an excuse.
Was there shitting involved?
Yeah. Well.
Were you having a
Yes.
shitting weekend?
that whole like rejection of food thing occurred the night before
Okay.
in a
The
spectacular way.
night before. Come on.
Come on.
I'm just giving you a hard
Nobody has poop problems the night before anything. Come on.
Anyway, that's enough about digestive pyrotechnics. Let's talk about creatures.
Creature.
Let's talk about fucking creature.
Creature.
I did not fook the creature.
Creature.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
Hey,
BMFcast. Ooh, you did a voice there.
BMFcast.
It's a special episode.
Is it?
No,
What?
not really. It's just episode 555.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a fake number.
Yeah. Fake news podcast, news numbers, fake.
They only use that podcast number in the movies.
In the
Right.
podcast 5x5.
Yeah, don't bother calling this podcast. No one will answer.
No, you should call this
No,
podcast.
you can call 9105 Jocks BMF.
Yeah, there's no.
But don't call 555-910. That's
No.
too many numbers.
9105 Jocks BMF.
Call that.
Anyway, hey, I'm Harlow.
Hey,
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every 555 episodes of this here BMFcast is, in case you don't know, is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. And then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and Robot Jocks.
Robot Jocks is a movie.
That is a movie that we enjoy
Yeah.
and would also
good
probably
bad movie.
be considered bad on a, cinematic critic level.
Snotty people would
Yeah.
look down upon that movie.
Right. However,
From
there,
up high.
there are just straight bad movies as a stay away. They get a negative sliding scale 1 to 5 bags and some giant bags of trash in which they belong.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yes.
No prior associations with Twilight that no longer exist.
Yeah.
But now it's just trash bags.
Just know that it's garbage.
Yeah. So we are. Are we starting? Spooky?
It's spooky
Is this a spooky month
month.
entry? I wasn't sure because this is a science fiction spooky.
It is, but listen,
Okay.
we decided to do this thing where all throughout the month of October,
Uh-huh.
we watch spooky movies.
Wow.
That's crazy, Chuck.
I think
did-
it might catch on.
How did you come up with this?
I don't know. It just came to me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like a color out of space.
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, we watched 1985's Creature,
Creature.
and I'm gonna stop doing that. But it's hard if you've seen District 9 to
Right.
say creature in a normal way.
You
But
also
I
say
just did.
Fook,
Yeah.
because they have accents.
Yeah, this is a ostensibly an Alien ripoff, but with some of the Aliens production team involved. A year before
the
Aliens
special
came out.
effects crew.
Yeah, the effects crew who would then go on to make Aliens and win an Oscar for it.
Right. So it's a kind of an odd thing. Because
It's
I mean,
an interesting thing.
like so many of these are like, oh, we say it's like, oh, it's a Terminator ripoff, and it's like, oh, it's a Terminator ripoff that they made with $2.15, and it's like,
This had
is-
some money.
yeah.
This one they made with like $8,000.
Yeah.
There's some production value in here that is surprising.
All the models are
Yeah.
are really good, and the sets are pretty good.
There's
one set that's really bad, but
yeah, it's got a orchestral score which isn't necessarily great.
there
but
are only 8 instruments in that orchestral score.
it
though.
sounded better than that. And usually these movies have a Casio keyboard soundtrack, so
There are many times it's like there's a one-stringed violin and a dented horn.
Yeah, no, I will back up and say, like, overall, not to spoil everything, but I don't think overall this is a good movie. In fact, I do think this is a bad movie.
This is a bad movie.
But like, I mean,
that's why
like,
we're watching it.
well, I mean, like, even in terms of like this is in danger of getting bags. I'm just saying, like, on a surface level, like, this is a bad movie, like a poorly acted, poorly shot, poorly geographical locations. Like, our action geography is really bad.
This is
But
what
it has one fatal flaw that
Yeah.
we will get into,
Yeah.
at least from my point of view.
Yeah, but the
is
the
that all of the acting?
but the second
Sort of.
the second unit stuff is pretty
You
fucking
can
good
second my unit.
for this level of movie. I'm saying, like the mat work, the model work, all of the miniature stuff is really good.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good. And even some of the creature work is okay. I mean, it's mostly kept in shadow and
the creature, the titular creature, is barely in this film, and when you do see it, you're like, oh, I saw Alien. I mean,
right.
But
it is kind of like a xenomorph got left in the hot sun for a little while.
Yeah,
but
it's a derpy xenomorph.
I mean, like the
It's
rubber
like
suit.
you're midway through melting a
Right.
jelly xenomorph.
Like if Michael Myers was William Shatner, then like this thing was the alien, and it got a little heat melted. Yeah.
Put on a distorted alien mask.
Right. So
Hi.
but yeah, I mean, like, but that's just to say, like, that's all well and good. I mean, it's sort of like Leviathan. It's like Leviathan is like,
Ooh, Leviathan.
it's like the set work and stuff is really good. Like you buy it and then it's like creature shows up and you're like, oh, like you did that's Like, it's just
Leviathan's better than this. Let's just be clear.
Well, like overall, but I mean, like I'm just saying, like it's like
Sure.
if they it's like they went through all that trouble of like, man, we made some really good sets and a really good atmosphere, and this is like really good low budget.
Leviathan has
abyss.
problems,
and it's like, but then the creature shows up, and you're like, that's what? Like,
Yeah.
this is like the creature shows up, and it's like, all right, that works, and it's like it works within the realm of everything else.
The creature is fine.
Yeah.
Sure, for this movie, the creature is fine. I just want to mention the director of this film, William Malone, who went on to make some of the worst things I've ever seen. He directed that House on Haunted Hill remake from the 90s, and then after that followed it up.
Is that the Liam Neeson one?
Yeah, no, that's The Haunting.
What's the House on Haunted Hill?
House on Haunted Hill is the Jeffrey Combs is in it, and Jeffrey Rush is in it, I think, as the Vincent Price analog. But so he made that. That's not good. And then he made Fear.com, which is just the absolute fucking worst thing. Of the 3 films of his I've seen, this is the best. So he started fine.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, this cast is, like, all, oh, hey, they were in this, right?
Okay, there are 3 or 4 people in this that you see and you go, oh, you.
Like,
and then there are 4 people who look identical.
Right.
There are 2 male leads who I don't know who. They could have been any dude at any time, and I would have been like, oh, yeah.
And it really doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, besides,
most
like,
of the
the
movie.
one dude who's Ferris Bueller's dad.
Right.
I mean, that's...
You know who Ferris
other
Bueller's dad
than
is
that, I
because
mean,
he's the only one with a different haircut.
Sure. I mean,
Everyone
it's
else has shaggy 70s
But I'm saying,
hair.
like, this is that movie like that, where it's just like, hey, that's Ferris Bueller's dad. And then, thanks to Chuck, this other lady shows up. I'm like, oh, where do I know her? And he's like, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
You know her from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
She's Francine or whatever, the lady who wants to go live in France. Like, au revoir, Pee-wee. Yeah, she's that lady. But she seems to be Simone. That's actually right. But yeah, it's thank you for
You're welcome.
another random fact for a movie that I just watched 2 weeks ago.
No
and
problem.
can't remember anything about.
Yeah. Wendy
yeah.
Shaw is in this,
Yeah.
who's in a bunch of Joe Dante movies. So like, and Klaus Kinski is in this. When you,
He is.
yeah, when he shows up, you're like, oh, that's Klaus Kinski. And then there are 4 people in this where you're just like,
Yeah.
you're 80s lady or 70s dude, and that's all you're ever gonna be.
Pretty much.
And sometimes you share a scene with your doppelganger, and I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, there are 2. There's a doctor lady who for whatever.
There are 3 blondes with 80s
Right.
hair.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's one lady. Well, except the one lady is like a blonde in some scenes, and then scarlet redhead in another. Depending
That's
on the
because
light.
of blood.
No, I just mean like there are some scenes where it's like, holy shit, your hair is super red, like
Yeah.
Lucille Ball red, and other scenes like you're just a blonde. But anyway, but that also makes it kind of confusing. But there are 2 ladies. There's Doctor Lady, who's not a real medical doctor. That she has a scene,
But
that
she
she's
is a
not.
real worm.
Yeah. But she has a whole scene where she explains that for no reason. She and the Marky Post analog. She has Marky Post hair. From Night Court. The one
Yes.
lady who gets naked in this movie, but they are mostly interchangeable, other than the doctor lady that does not get naked. I don't believe. But I'm just saying, it's
Don't
like,
interchange the naked lady with someone who doesn't get naked.
well, I'm just saying, like, if when they are in normal scenes and fully clothed, it's like they're kind of indistinguishable from.
I
each
mean,
other.
there's one lady who gets bonked on the head that I thought for sure was the other lady for at least 30 minutes.
yeah.
Until that lady shows back up with the thing on her head, and I'm like, oh, you're the one who got hit in the head. That's weird.
Yeah.
So it's weird because it's like
And then-
half this cast, you're like, I know exactly who you are, and the other half is like, I'll never keep you apart. I'll never know who you are.
And then the main dude, if there is a main dude, the captain of the ship, not the commander of the mission, which doesn't make any sense. is like
Ferris Bueller's dad is like the Paul Reiser from
Right.
Alien. He's the company guy who is going there to do nefarious
Yes.
things, and then there's just the captain of the ship,
he's
the Tom Skerritt
the
guy.
Dallas guy. But yeah, he's like, I don't know who this dude is. I don't know if I've ever seen him in another movie. He's the most nondescript, like 70s dude I've ever seen.
Mike Davison.
I'm just saying, like
Captain Mike
it's
Davison.
just, it is some odd casting just to get the most generic guy.
Stanover.
And then there's another dude who has sex
That's the
with
guy from
the
Game of
Marky
Thrones.
Post lady,
Uh-huh.
who's also kind of interchangeable, except that he gets creatured at one point. And
Yes, that is the only reason I was able to tell him
Right.
apart from the captain guy is because he gets creatured
right.
and starts being a weirdo.
Yeah. So I mean,
But there's one scene where they are both together. I'm like, you guys have to stand in the same place because I can't. Both of you are the same dude with the same head of hair.
Oh,
But yeah.
so Stanover was on Days of Our Lives for 60 episodes.
Oh, good for him.
So a short run.
yeah. That's
Uh,
like 2 months.
That's like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
other than that, he just did
except
like,
for weekends, I forgot. So maybe it's like 3 months.
other than that, it's like, oh, he was in Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Oh,
Great.
good.
Oh, the
Um,
joke I made about his
the
stupid
joke,
character
yep,
name. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mike Davidson in the Marlboro Man is what I said.
Yeah. Well, good job.
Otherwise,
Oh.
he just did like
Guest star.
one
Mm.
episode of a billion TV shows.
Okay, so
Was he ever on Pensacola Wings of Gold?
Probably.
So he's like Susan Lucci
Nope.
if Susan Lucci wasn't even like, the butt of a joke or a punchline or something.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like,
Didn't
like
Susan Lucci do like a bunch of one show?
yes, she was on All My
Yeah.
Children for like 60 years. But I'm saying, like, it's like
Still is, I think.
I'm. But my point is, it's like if you remove anyone who's ever seen daytime television, which is most people, I would think, and remove like Conan O'Brien jokes, it's like most people would have no idea who she is on the street because it's like
Right.
like it's just like
Lucci.
Yeah.
The Luch, we call it.
Yeah. So that's the cast. The setup for this, it starts. There are some dudes who a ship has landed on Titan, one of Saturn's moons.
Yeah, where Thanos comes from.
Right. And
Wait, is that actually correct?
Well, except they changed it to like
it's a
be
different
another
Titan.
planet in the movies.
It's
but
not our Titan.
no, in the original comic books, it is our Titan. I'm saying,
Oh,
like, in
okay.
the MCU, it was like that doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
no, he came from
I weren't.
like
I wasn't sure if you were like just making
no,
jokes
it was-
or.
no.
Yeah,
He is
okay.
called the
Cool,
Mad Titan
thanks.
because he is from Titan. Yeah.
And by the way, the director's cut of this film is called Titan Find. So both titles kind of suck. But so there's this crew on Titan, and they have found like this room with canisters in it, and there's just 2 guys in there, and they're like, "Hey, take a picture with me over here doing this," and then he's like, "Hey, crack that thing open and sit on it, Potsy," It's like, "Hey," and yeah, so they find like this one pod thing that's intact, and he's like, "Hey, sit on that, and I'll take your picture," and he's like, "Okay, boss,"
And I
And-
think he drops his helmet or slips or something and cracks it.
He
Cracks it
drops
open.
his giant
Oh,
single lumen flashlight,
Yeah,
the
yes.
worst flashlight in the entire history of light.
yeah. We were discussing in certain scenes
Powered by
whether
Rayovac.
whether or not the flashlights were actually removing light from
Yeah.
the scene.
We've decided they're flash darks.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, this thing's cracked and some goo starts to come out of it, and then that dude's like, obviously there's something wrong with him, and then he just explodes inside his spacesuit.
Yeah, he gets creature gooed.
Yeah.
Gooed.
And then
And
we're
then-
we're at a space station orbiting the moon, our
The
moon.
Concorde.
Yeah.
Luna.
And there's just dudes who are just like, "Hey, we're getting there's a ship coming in, and it's like coming right for us," and they're like, "Hail it," and he's like, "They're not
Hail.
responding," and they look on the screen, and there's an astronaut who's like a skeleton zombie man, just kind of bobbing back and forth, and then the captain of the space station just goes, "Holy shit!" and it collides with the space station, and they all die.
It's
Yeah.
a very good holy shit. You should seek this movie out for that.
Yeah. It's weird though because this whole scene doesn't come into play ever again or seem to have any catalyst for what's happening.
Well-
yeah, because they talk about contacting the Concorde later, and they're
Right.
like, oh, we'll just have Concorde reroute a ship, so nothing happened.
I
Yeah.
think the reason that the other ship was going to Titan was because of this.
Maybe
They
The German ship.
I mean
Well-
the only thing I can explain about the scene is it feels like sequel bait of like, oh well, like we're going to be able to explain that like the creature's goo got out and is on the moon now or whatever, and like even
That
if
creature goo came from the moon.
I'm just saying, like, we can destroy creature one, but there will be there will be another
Creature
out
2, yeah.
for I mean, it's just because this seems to have nothing to do with the rest of the plot because it's just like now onto Ripley's ship where it's just space truck.
It could have been the final scene of the movie.
I think the idea, like Chuck said, is they're like, oh shit, that's a ship from NIA Technologies that crashed, and it was coming from Titan, and the rival company was like, oh, this is coming from Titan, and something weird happened.
Right.
I bet there's money to be made there. Let's go. So the rival German company sends their ship to Titan to get whatever's interesting
the
there.
stuff, and then we send the Shenandoah out there, and it's just a crew of people and Ferris Bueller's dad, who's the guy from the company, and
with his robot lady friend, who's what's her face from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes,
I was just saying she shows up and it's like
she's a Terminatrix.
Yeah, I mean everyone else is like wearing plain gray spacesuit jumpsuit things, and she's got like this all black like future Terminator thing. Like she's
it's like one of the jumpsuits from V
or like Rotor or something.
Like, Jesus,
it's shiny black pleather.
Don't invoke Rotor.
I am going to invoke Rotor whenever I can.
God damn it.
But yeah, she's loading up, and they're like, "We don't need guns." She's like, "She's with me, we're taking guns,"
Right.
and then she never says a word, and we're like, "Okay, robot."
I'm just going to jump ahead to one thing here about Ferris Bueller's dad is that he is that guy. He's the weasel piece of shit who's going to fuck them all over to get whatever thing it is and bring it back to the company for either money or the military. Except he's not. As soon as like shit goes down, he's on board with helping everybody out. He's never once like
he makes one bad call, which is basically like the captain guy's like, "We're going to land near the black box, the site of this crash or whatever, but we should probably run a scan of the surface and make sure it's safe." And he's like, "We don't have time for that." And it's like,
yeah, you do.
I mean, like,
I
don't know.
I
feel like landing on a foreign body it's important to make sure the ground's solid and stuff with a multi-billion-ton spaceship or whatever, like.
Yeah. But I mean, like, he gets so buddy-buddy with the captain by the end that I thought they both were just going to survive this. It seemed like they were going to make it, and everyone else was going to get creatured.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because, I mean, the Ripley character, the Shaw, what's her first name? Wendy Shaw, is like, she has several times where it's like, oh, she's dead. Like, clearly, she's been abducted, and, like, in any horror movie, you are dead. Like
well, I mean, like if this was an actual alien movie, you're like, oh, she's been impregnated. Like it's happened. Like there are 3 times where you're like, nope, you need to check her because somewhere on her is a sub creature. Because there are other creatures also that do magic really things that whatever
Maybe
they
it's
need.
It's like a Cloverfield thing.
It's like, just like you're dead, and then they put a cockroach on you. And,
it's like a
They say it replaces your brain. But it also knows jokes and sarcasm, and
it knows stuff you know. So
it knows to set up like Jason body scares. I mean, they're not cat scares, but like
I think that's just like his snack drawer or whatever. Pantry.
No, but he left like other bodies in lockers for people just to open up and have fall out. Like I mean, that's a very Jason thing to do. Of like like leave your kills around so that people find them and freak out more.
Well, that's what I do.
Oh, well, sure.
I'm not copying them. I'm just.
I mean, if you're going to
doing
have
it because it's funny,
bodies lying around, you might as well set them up for fun.
Yeah. How else do you let the bodies hit the floor if you don't prop them up?
I don't know. It's a good point.
It's thought provoking.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
right. I know.
Write in if you know the answer. So they go to Titan to investigate and do stuff, and then
immediately land and fall into a sinkhole, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, which just cracks their ship in half.
Well, because the captain's like, I need to survey the situation, and Ferris Bueller's dad is like, no, you don't. Just put it down. And they land, and everything's cool, and then they just sink right into a cavern. It's like, y'all fucked. But they're right across the way from the German ship, which is there, door wide open. Come hang out with me. In my German ship. So the flaw with this movie, to me, is that it's padded to hell. Like, it is just lots of people just kind of walking around, looking at things, not talking to each other, when they could be talking to each other, and in some instances should be talking to each other.
Oh, absolutely. There are multiple... there was a point in this movie where I declared that... most people say that acting is reacting.
Yes.
That is how you act. And I said, therefore, this movie has some of the worst acting I've ever seen because people are not reacting to things they clearly should be reacting to.
There is a lack of that.
Yeah.
But there will just be scenes of people like longingly looking out of the spaceship window and just contemplating things, and I'm like, I don't know you well enough to feel anything for you, whatever it is you're going through. That to me is the flaw of this movie, is that the pacing is horrendous.
Yeah.
Just horrendous.
Well, I think there's at least 3 different times where there is a reveal that should happen. I'm not exaggerating, 20 or 30 seconds before it does.
Yeah.
I mean, like, actual running time, where it's like,
do the thing. Come on, do the thing. We know how movies are.
I mean, we're skipping all over the plot of this, but there is a point where, I mean, the essential thing is that there is an actual, like, xenomorph-looking, melty xenomorph thing, but then there is also, like, little sub-creatures that can latch onto your head, sort of Wrath of Khan style, and take over your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of have to... I don't know if... I guess they slither out, or something puts them on.
They seem to have bugs.
It doesn't seem to, like...
Yeah.
Well, however it got on the first one was
either.
fine, but whoever is bugged is carrying one around and just slapping it on people's heads.
Yeah, it seems to be, because, the first person that gets bugged, the interchangeable guy who has sex with the 80s hair lady.
Well, the 80s hair lady is the one who gets bugged first. Because
oh, right. Well, I guess he finds her, and then she just is like, here, have a cricket for your face. And it's like, so...
Yeah,
and then he's bugged. But I mean, so I'm saying she gets bugged where it's like the creature like rips into her and like blood is spewing. She just walks up and is like, here, now you're mind controlled. You're not necessarily a zombie thing. But
well, she lures him out with titties, and he walks...
And telekinesis, or not telekinesis, but there's some sort of
tittykinesis.
Yeah.
There's a collective consciousness that Klaus Kinski talks about at one point, which is dumb because he's also bugged. Mm-hmm. So why he's telling them exactly...
Later in the movie.
Maybe the entire time?
I think the entire...
You think the entire time?
I think so.
He's goofed?
Doesn't matter.
Because he's not acting like you guys... Well, okay. It's
Fair
hard
enough.
for me to say like Klaus Kinski is not acting like, because he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants.
It's weird. Weird German thing.
Because at one point he's like, you guys need to leave. And they're like, why? And he's like, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I'll tell you. And I'm like, that's not normal. That's not in the script. That's just him being a fucking weirdo. So I will interpret that by he's bugged the entire time. He's the creature's lackey. He went to go get more food for the creature. But yeah, it's just a bunch of walking.
Yes, you've mentioned Klaus Kinski, and you mentioned that he gets bugged or he gets zombified by these things. But the scene in question is one of the many times where Wendy, whatever actual character's name is,
Beth Slater.
Slater, yeah. Slayton? I think it's
Slayton. Beth Slayton.
Yeah, but because she kept like talking to herself in the third person. But
yeah, but then we did it 800.
Right,
Yeah,
we did it
because she kept forgetting her tools.
Sure. But she's like clearly been taken by the creature and like is running for her life from evil Klaus Kinski, who is like a totally zombie creature fight at this point, like no hiding it anymore. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of does the, oh, I've run so far, I'm tired, and somebody helps her up and drags her back to the airlock of the ship, to which the two guys are waiting. Like, open the thing, see somebody's like got her dangling over their shoulder. They immediately like run to the airlock, tend to her, never look at the guy, and it is like 30 seconds before it is just like, oh hey, there's someone else here. Oh, by the way, it's zombie Klaus Kinski. And he's just like waiting,
yes,
like,
he's just hanging out,
like waiting patiently,
like the background guys in Bruce Lee movies, where it's like,
it's my turn.
Two times two at a time for him to fight. Okay, all right, I'll wait. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of just like the characters have blinders on, and they're like, oh no, this lady, please, we will rescue you. Thank you, person who brought her in. We'll deal with you in a moment. Yeah. Oh no, it's a zombie Klaus Kinski. Now we have to deal with that. But also, like, the 3 or 4 times that she falls down on the way from one ship to the other ship is like, okay, you've been bugged at this point. Right. Like, it has to have happened because you keep seeing legs walk up and discover her, and it's like, okay, if Klaus Kinski's entire motive is to go around and put these bugs on people, then he's done it to you already.
Right.
And he hasn't. And there's also, when they do find her and they take her helmet off, she's very obviously not opening her mouth. And I'm like, she's got a bug in there. I've seen a movie. And then that's not it either.
So what you're saying is this movie constantly subverts your expectations expertly.
Well, okay. Okay, maybe, but also
a little bit.
It should do some things.
Sure, it should vert your expectations.
Yes, please vert them.
This is more like a drunk guy accidentally doing a perfect slalom run or something like that. Like this is just like, well, technically, yeah, you were swerving and you went through all the flags somehow.
You were swerving,
but okay, good. I'm not gonna say good job. That's just damn lucky.
Because the other thing is that the Simone character, the lady, Margaret, whatever her name is,
Thatcher.
Yes, the lady who we were like, as soon as we saw her, we're like, she's a robot.
Yeah.
She's the Ash of the movie. We're like, okay, reveal that she's a robot. No, that's not the case ever.
No, she just disappears for 30 minutes of the movie and then shows up at the end and be like, I got lost.
And
everyone's like, oh, that seems right.
Yeah, that checks out.
And that actually is what happened. It's just like,
she's just embarrassed.
Did you leave to make Pee-wee's Big Adventure and you just came back to this production? Like, what happened here?
That's what's weird is that, so they have to have a lady in peril all the time, and there's only one lady left. So that's why it doesn't make sense that she's okay after every single encounter.
Chuck, it's 1985. Ladies can't do stuff yet.
Yeah, but they had a lot of ladies in this, and they killed them all off too early, is what I'm saying. And so then, because the other lady vanished for 45 minutes of the movie, they just had to keep putting this one lady in danger the entire time, and it's not believable that she escaped whatever it is that's happening on Titan.
Yeah. Not only that, there's another entire long extended sequence where she gets wampa'd by hung upside down like Luke Skywalker, and it's just like inside of a room where this thing is, and they're like, should we go get her? No, the thing's in there. And it's like, okay.
Because they're peeking in the window looking at her, and the creature just pops up like, haha, you're not getting in here.
Yeah, like, here's creature.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird how much she's in peril, and it's like, is she Mina Harker? Like, is Dracula intentionally not bite her for some reason? Like, why is she not a vampire at this
she's
point?
Queen of Titan, and she's come home, and she and Klaus Kinski will be married, and the creature is their son or whatever. I don't know, but
creature's biting everybody else. Good. Why is he not biting her?
Yeah. She does come up with the plan straight out of the Thing from Another World, where she's like, did y'all ever see this movie about a bunch of people trapped in an ice station being menaced by a carrot? And that's a real reductive way to explain Thing from Another World, but it's accurate. And then she's like, well, they defeated the carrot by putting an electrical grid on the ground, and let's do that. Then that's exactly what they do.
So they made a carrot battery instead of a potato battery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Powered by a carrot.
All right. I've never seen the original one, so
it's
a thing.
It's still it's a thing.
It's a thing.
No, it's a.
Oh, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a the thing.
It's one of 3 things. Yeah, because they do that.
There's only one thing.
Whatever the hell this is. And gold.
I'm going to be the only person that's making City Slickers jokes in 2020.
No, it's fine. I made a City Slickers 2 joke right after you did. So, anyway, so yeah, they electrocute the creature at one point.
Doesn't really matter.
It's hard to go in sequence in this movie because so much of it is just people standing around and not speaking to one another. There's an awful lot of, we've got to go to engineering and solder some shit to make these monitors turn on or whatever.
Yeah, I got to go patch this circuit. And
there's a lot of...
Oh, there's a lot of talking about the air supply.
They mentioned the air supply a lot.
Yeah, they were all out of love. They were so lost without them.
The weird thing is that there's never really any discussion of, we need to get the fuck off this planet. And then it's just... at the end, when they win, it's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. And they just push the button and launch and get out. It's like...
It's because they did all that engineering work.
Yeah, but to speak to the people clearly don't say things or react when they should. There are a couple times where they're like, all right, well, we're going to go get X from the German ship. You wait here in the whatever Shenandoah. American ship, the corporation ship. They never say where the other people are from, other than they speak American. But so there's times when people will get separated and something will happen to one group and they will reconvene and someone will be fucked up, something will be crushed or someone will be screaming and people will come back and be like, oh my god, what is going on? And nobody will say anything.
Well, the most egregious instance of that is the first time they go over there, because they're just they go over and they take off their helmets, of course, because they're like, there's air, and they do that. And then they go into this room where it's like, oh shit, this is a lab of some kind. There's this broken canister with all this goo in it. Let me stick my face in there. And then the 80s hair lady eats a snack off the console just like I'm in a ship I've never been in before on fucking Titan. Obviously, I'm gonna eat this snack. That's on the some real Prometheus shit going on in here.
At least they tested the air first. Like they have
That's
they
true.
had
They
a
had a
little
little beep beep thing.
calculator that
Yeah.
went. Beep.
Yeah. It seems like it's a motion detector because it's kind of making the same sound, and it's like, oh, they've got one of those things. I've seen Aliens, which hadn't come out yet. But
they saw the script.
yeah. So this is like the first appearance of the creature, but
They might have actually seen the script. I mean, if this company was working on the effects thing, they might have had parts of the script.
it's
Jesus
possible.
Christ.
I mean, if you think, I don't think there's a
Yeah.
lawsuit there, but
no, I just mean it's like
sure, it's possible. But anyway, the creature makes an appearance in this and menaces the people who went over there, and they run out of there like, oh my god! And as they're running out, the other people are like, what happened in there? What's going on? And there are 3 of them, and none of them will say what happened.
Yeah.
They just keep walking.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
all just like, oh, I'm so tired.
it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is in there? And no one will say anything. It's
or I think it's just. It's sort of like this movie is one of those things where, like, when something happens, it's like, why didn't that happen 10 minutes earlier, and why are you only thinking of this now? Like, not Marky Post lady, the other one, the Wendy Shaw. Like, when they were first investigating the German ship, like,
Susan.
yes, it's like they all walk in, and they start going to different places. Now, Susan was the naked lady.
Wendy.
Slater.
Yeah. Slater.
Slayton.
Yeah. Slayton. Deke Slayton. I don't know. Whatever.
Stan Iver.
Beth. Sure.
The
Whatever.
main lady.
The main lady.
The
She's like
survivor
they,
lady.
they're investigating the ship where it appears everyone is dead. They haven't found Klaus Kinski or any signs of survivors. They haven't found the dead bodies, and they're just walking around and assigning where everyone's going to go. And it's like not until she's in like the 3rd section where she goes, "Hello,
Yeah.
is anyone here?" It's like, I think that'd be step 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Just. I mean, also you probably have an electronic version. You can just go boop boop boop. Ship
Right.
hello, is anyone here? You know, like.
Yes.
I think you would have that, but
They got a lot of radio wonkiness in this.
They
movie.
do mention a lot of RF interference. They can't call the other ship from that ship.
Right.
well, that's because one's using NTSC and the other's using PAL.
But they figure it out eventually,
They do.
which is weird because they couldn't do it earlier in the movie.
I know.
We also I think we forgot to mention how Klaus Kinski entered the room, essentially.
All right, yeah.
Which is, he sneaks aboard. Just sneaks onto the Shenandoah because it's broken in half or whatever. And he's like, oh, there was the whole back end of the ship was broken off, so I just walked in. It was easy.
Hi.
Sure, no, maybe he likes the butt stuff.
Right. But that's not how he enters the room. He enters the room by sneaking up on Robot Lady and groping her menacingly.
Yeah.
Like, I like I like you.
To the point that I had several things going through my head at one point, which like somewhere in the mix, like not the first thing, but like probably third, and what kind of jumped to the forefront is that Klaus Kinski? But like I was like, is this like her lover on the ship that we saw?
Haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
Right, because we were like convinced she was a bad guy. She's a secret Nazi,
Yeah.
and
robot.
here comes Klaus Kinski.
Well, not only that, but like it's apparent at first. It's like everyone's all business and like, oh, going to do this and Roger, bloop, 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 and then like everyone gets off and is like secretly going off to the various places in the ship to fuck because everyone's paired off.
Right.
And I was like, oh, maybe he was one of the random people in the background that I didn't notice that she actually has a lover. And then I was like, wait, is that Klaus Kinski? And also she's not happy, and now they're fighting. And okay,
She's not happy.
yeah, I was like, oh, this is non-consensual, and this is what's going on.
Yeah.
By the way, the
He's like, what do you like? And she's like, violence, and beats the tar out of him.
The Klaus Kinski grabbing her stuff was Klaus Kinski's idea, not in the script. He was just like, what if I grab her boob?
What if I grab her boobs?
So, and we were thinking like, oh, he's gonna know she's a robot because robot boobs. You know how they feel.
I thought she was because
I
in
don't.
this scene she's taking off her her pleather thing. I was like, she's gonna unzip this thing and it's gonna be like a full Hitler chest piece portrait.
I went with
like,
robot boobs. I thought that would be the reveal, like just LED nipples or
They didn't. They couldn't afford LEDs.
You think
in
she's got the
1985.
fucking red dragon, but with Adolf Hitler. Just
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Whew. The thing is, though, in this scene, we are still convinced, the 3 of us, that she's a robot.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
she takes off this jumpsuit and she's got on tiny shorts
got on these-
and a little sexy tank top, and we're like, Why is the robot dressed like that?
she's got like lace boy shorts on, basically.
Yeah. They're not lace. They're like they're like the tiniest gym shorts
not
you've
lace.
ever
I mean,
seen.
like silk. I
Silk,
mean, silk.
yes.
Yeah, that's the word I meant. But they're like little
Silk and
like slit boy shorts. They're not something that like
They don't really cover much if you move around.
No, it's more that like they don't fit with her whole other vibe. Like it's, I'm just saying, like it's like robot lady, possibly Nazi robot lady. You don't see her like
or
shopping
Nazi
the
robot lady.
shopping the fall catalog of Victoria's Secret to
No, that was a thing for a while. The Nazis would take off the uniform and they would be all laced up.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
silked up. Like
was
Nazis need love too, that kind of bullshit.
I like
The
it feels
70s
on my
were
nipples.
Weird, man. My LED lip nipples.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Yes, we were. I think my favorite Klaus Kinski bit is when he's just chowing down on a sandwich while trying to deliver dialogue at one point, like seemingly important things to say to the other people, but he is just going to town on this ham sandwich. Klaus Kinski's ham sandwich.
Yeah, episode title.
Do not look that up on Urban Dictionary.
Right. My favorite is at one point he's like, I guess he's deciding not to tell them this stuff. And he's like, I'm just going to go for a walk. I need to get back in shape or something.
He does. Exactly
I'm not
what he
fit
says.
enough anymore.
Yes. Need to work out.
All of his descriptions of the creature and dialogue are just both great and insane.
I mean,
it's like equal parts. Like it's like I'm not trying to say I'm trying to encourage like madman behavior on the set and unsolicited groping of other actors, but I'm saying like there is a certain charm of somebody just being unhinged on set to have it filmed.
It's an energy that is like, well, this could add something to the production.
Right.
I mean, obviously they hired him, they knew what they were getting. It's not like he became crazy that movie. He does. I mean, he's at least reined in enough to actually explain what the fuck is going on, which is that this tunnel, this cave system, this room that's underneath Titan was basically like 200,000 years ago. This collector's collection of just life from around the universe kept in these little specimen containers, and oops all creatures. Basically. They've all cracked open.
Yeah, it's basically Benicio del Toro. Like sometime later, it's like all of this dangerous shit he collected.
They all got dusty and they were unattended and suspended animation, and
the bad one got out.
Astronauts sat on one and its goo leaked out, and therefore it was pissed or whatever.
That's what
I don't
happens,
know.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
But yeah, it basically everyone kind of gets one by one creatured off. I mean,
basically it comes down to Ferris Bueller's dad, the captain, and Wendy Shaw.
Yeah.
And she's in peril, and they just team up like, okay, let's get her. Let's do the thing.
I mean, there are multiple times where you're like, this is where he actually, secretly like chooses the money over the people, because like there's a whole plan when she's hung up like Luke Skywalker from the Wampa. He's like, I'm gonna sneak around back and create a distraction so you can get and distract her. And it's like, oh well, what's he gonna actually go steal to send back?
He puts the creature in,
and then he finds like a shitload of explosives, and we're like, aha, well he's gonna something with this. Something fucking stupid.
Yeah,
he does the stupid brave thing instead of the stupid evil thing.
Yeah. It turns out he was actually like setting up this creature to like fall through a trapdoor hatch thing, like an airlock type thing, and blow it up outside the ship. But I mean, when he sets the 30-second timer, he's just like, oh, he's gone full like fuck it. Yeah, we're nuking everything from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Like when the captain comes in and sees him and he's been creatured, and he's still alive a little bit enough to go, the bomb,
not kill me because copyrights.
Yeah, do the bomb thing, and he's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll arm that thing, because he throws that bomb with them and jettisons them out of the thing, and then the creature just shows up in a doorway because there was a net involved in this, because he was like, I'm going to throw this net on the creature before he saw the bombs, before he traded up for bombs. So now the net is wrapped around the creature and the bomb is strapped to it. And you're like, okay, well, just wait a few more seconds. It's going to blow up. But it gets down to 0 and then it says malfunction on it, and it doesn't. And that's when Nazi robot lady, who's just a lady, shows back up.
Well, not before what's his nuts, like swing kicks the the
Marble
creature.
Man like diving kicks him out.
Yeah,
He grabs like the top of the door and drop kicks him out.
Yeah, but I mean, like
he
that's,
also falls out. I think.
Yeah, he's not free from like he's still gonna die.
It's bizarre because like, well, also he's jumping onto Titan's atmosphere, which they've proven is like you're fine for a few seconds.
But maybe not long.
Yeah.
But it's weird. He just basically walks out like,
Oh no!
I'm out here now,
Yeah.
and then Robot Lady shows up and she's like, I choose
Nitrogen
violence.
and methane
Okay.
That's the atmosphere.
of Titan.
We
yeah.
can't breathe that.
We can breathe nitrogen. It just doesn't you'll just suffocate.
Right.
Like we can breathe it.
And it
Yeah.
stinks.
And it's, well, that'd be the methane. That it
Methane,
it smelled like farts.
The problem
yeah.
is there's no oxygen.
Right.
If
So
there
you
was
probably
some
would,
oxygen,
so you
we'd
probably
be
wouldn't
okay.
smell the methane at all
Yeah,
because
you'd be.
I don't know. I
You'd
don't
be
know.
dying.
I don't
Get
know if
busy
you
dying.
require the oxygen to carry the molecules or if nitrogen can carry them. I don't know how the olfactory senses work.
Oh
if
no,
it
it's just
requires-
if the molecule,
right. But I don't know if
touches up in there.
oxygen is required to make that happen.
Right.
Never been in a non-oxygen environment and tried to taste something, so
You gotta.
I'll have
put
to
your,
let you know.
You gotta put your nose in something one day.
Yeah. So yeah, Robot Lady is back, and Main Lady is fine, and the Captain is fine, and they're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here!" Push, launch, go, and it's like there's no sequel tease of any kind. They're fine. They did it. They blew up the creature. Everything's cool.
Yeah, other than like I said, the parts of it are on our moon from the other one.
Maybe.
Yeah, but there's no creature too, so it doesn't matter.
No, it
Not yet, anyway.
There's not gonna be.
Not yet,
2022
anyway.
Creature 2
You are not dashing my hopes of making Creature 2 and Rotor 2.
Road Tour.
Because at least Rotor had a setup for a sequel.
It did, and it sucked.
Well, not a robot or a Nazi lady could still be bugged.
True. We also thought that because she has a huge head of hair
Right.
that's up in a bun.
And there's a point where she's like,
Yeah.
where she was taking her hair down
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, I think. And we're like, oh, we're going to see the little bug in her hair.
It's weird. I think actors throughout this film did things that in any other movie would be like, that's a tell, but like it was just the actors doing something.
Right.
Because like none of those things that we were like, none of them pan out. None.
Nope.
We thought we had this movie pegged, and the movie is so much simpler than we were giving it credit for.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the reveal I talked about in the airlock, when it's, Zombie Klaus Kinski is there with them,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to be the reveal where the robot lady's back and she saved her.
Right.
And it's like she takes
'Cause
off the
she's
helmet.
been
It's
gone
like,
for so
yeah, and it's
long.
like, oh, where have you been? And either A, reason for I was trying to kill the creature or I saved somebody or whatever, or like, bleh, I'm now a creature too.
Bleh.
It's more vampire than alien because it's capturing and converting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
it's not just like feeding on people or whatever. It's like it seems to be like Madam Hydraing everyone.
Sure, but they have to bring you to the creature who bites your head off.
Sure.
Literally, not like yells at you, but literally bites your head off. Yeah, but that's it. They just fly away. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
And there's credits and triumphant music, and it's over.
It is. And then we give ratings because that's, as I established at the top of the show, that's what happens.
Oh, okay. That's new.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We've literally done it for like 500 episodes.
555
55.
episodes.
Not that many. It was more like 530. It's probably about 15 episodes.
Oh yeah,
before we
because the
decided to-
first ones they had no ratings.
Yeah.
Not until Robot Jocks came along.
Actually, I think it
That
took till after Twilight, which was number 12.
I think we decided on our up rating.
I think we had to
For
have
the
our
Robot
low.
Jocks
Yeah, I think we had to
episode.
lose before we knew how to win.
I don't
so
remember.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sure, whatever.
Uh,
I wasn't here. I don't care. Oh God. Bye. You all right?
No.
Well. Oh no, creature.
I've not been fooked by a creature.
So let's.
I'll go ahead and go, I guess.
Okay.
Man, this is a weird one because like I am honestly hovering right between like a one bag and a one jocks, and I honestly like can't decide.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna land on one bag because at the end of the day, it's like I like the second unit stuff, but I just don't think there's enough overall to be like, yeah, go ahead and spend your time. I just think there's better things you could watch in this genre. I'm not saying that like it's all bad. I'm just saying like it's not enough to spend 90 minutes worth of good. If that makes any sense.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's honestly like this is I would say this is the closest to True Zero I've been in a long time. You know, like where I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I mean,
I'll help you out, buddy.
okay.
I will give it 1 Jocks, but recommend that you just watch it on Tubi or whatever, because I think it's on Tubi.
Yeah, I think it was.
Did we find it there? Because it's not on any other streaming service, I guess, unless you want to pay for it.
It
was.
was.
It wasn't.
It was on Amazon Prime.
UHD, I think, in Amazon. Like, by the way, just not soliciting any one streaming service because I honestly don't care. I feel like if we were going to get accused of anything, it'd be HBO Max stumping. But Amazon's like, go check some of their like weird like MGM and shit libraries. Like, there's a lot
They've
of
been adding UHD stuff,
lot of
right?
4K stuff, like Ninja 3 and I think Vicious Lips was in UHD too. I'm just saying, like some of our back catalog and Unmasking the Idol, like some of these things. It's just we haven't gotten to Unmasking the Idol yet, but previous movie
We've
too.
talked about it enough.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, just go dig through.
But
some
yeah,
of this.
so
But yeah,
2 days ago,
Yeah.
Creature was there in 4K, and we
I
were like,
believe.
well, we'll just watch that. We had the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, which just came out. But if it's in 4K on Amazon, we'll watch that.
Yeah.
It left.
Yep, it suddenly became a you can buy or rent this.
Yeah. So like right at the beginning of Spooky Month, they own MGM.
You got to pay for Creature.
And this was released. I believe MGM still owns the rights to this. It's gone from Amazon and is nowhere else. So it's not like Amazon said, "Okay, we're going to let this other service have it for a fee."
Just so you think I'm not like completely like, oh my god, Amazon's great. Like, good luck fucking finding the shit though. I'm saying, like, unless you put in those, like, start with something like Ninja 3 or Vicious Lips, and then go look at like the people also liked, because that's your best bet.
Yeah.
Because like browsing Amazon's selection otherwise is shit.
It's rough. It's not.
And if you click on one to be like, what is this about? It will take you back to the beginning of the fucking list every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I want to see details on this. Oh yeah, cool. Now I've got to scroll all the way back 6 pages.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, 1 Jocks, it's good enough to, like, it's got enough weird stuff to make it worth half paying attention to. Like, you know, if you're one of those people who's still working from home, put it on while you're, you know.
You can look up every time there's dialogue, which will give you plenty of time to get your work done.
Right, yeah. You'll have 90 minutes to work. The movie is 93 minutes long.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, it kept me from staring at my phone the entire time, which is pretty good. The Klaus Kinski bits are weird, which are fun. The model work is really good. I think we mentioned that earlier. Like, the model work and all the second unit stuff is quite good, and I can see why these people were chosen to work on Aliens. So
Yeah, it's a good demo reel.
yeah, kind of. It's just the acting is poor at best. Chuck, rate it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have watched so many horror movies
Have you?
and gotten to a place where I see them sort of differently than any of the other movies that we watch. Like, you know, if an action movie pisses me off because it sucks, I'm just like, nah, fuck that. There's nothing to redeem that thing. But for horror movies, I see certain aspects of them and I appreciate the hell out of them. I appreciate, like, for example, the model work in this, which is legit good. Not great, but good. Because you see so many other movies try to ape like Star Wars and stuff with their model work. That movie that we watched, the Shape of Things That Come, or whatever the
Shape of Water.
No. We watched an extra movie, the H.G. Wells thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. It had a ton of model work in it, and it was all garbage. But they kept putting it up on the screen, like, look at our shaky model that's obviously on fishing wire, and you're like, that sucks. It's not good. You look at the models in this, you're like, okay, that's an interesting ship design. It doesn't look like something else, and it's believable to a point in the realm of this movie. Like, if it's going to land on that set, that looks legit. And there were just shots where it was like, that's cool. That's a cool looking shot. That's a cool looking exterior. That's neat. I like the spacesuits. I like the sets of the ships. I like the main bridge of the main ship is like this sunken living room with a like fire pit / TARDIS control center in the middle of it.
Conversation
in the German ship. Yeah, the German like
No. In the Shenandoah, they're all just like in this little pit.
I like the bridge of the
The bridge of the German ship was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That
They
was
get
a
in there.
sci-fi ass ship.
There's like 20 minutes left, and they're like, go to the bridge, and they go to that bridge and you're like, why haven't you been using this set?
Honestly,
this set?
I would have made that the set of the main ship.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was cool as
Yeah.
hell.
I just think from a technical standpoint, there are a lot of things about this movie that I think are very interesting. Its problem is its glacial pace of just like, you got to get to it. You got to someone at least say something. You can't just have people stare at each other. I can't stand.
Yeah.
So basically, like, everything physical is fine.
Yes. If the script had been good enough to go with the effects.
If the dialogue had been, like, I don't know, 2 more passes on that dialogue.
This is a low budget Top Gun Maverick. like the talkie bits are fucking awful, and the second unit stuff is pretty good.
I think one problem with the actual dialogue itself is that people keep talking in metaphors that
Oh god, they are mixed. They are mixed and fucking.
They're just clunky as shit.
Yeah.
Like it's like that. No, I understand. You know, it's like
the captain guy especially loves mixed metaphors.
like, oh, we were sweating like a champ, and it's like
That's not. What does that mean?
yeah. It's just anyway. I don't like the dialogue. I don't like the acting. I don't like the pace of the story. But I think everything from a technical standpoint is neat. So I'm giving it 2 jocks because I want to give it credit for those aspects, because so often a movie this low budget with that kind of acting is also going to have shitty special effects too, and none of it is good. So
Why you mentioned Star Wars, we've made plenty of Star Wars references, like people hanging upside down, but every time a ship door opens and closes, it's the blaster noise from Star Wars.
It's literally the blaster noise.
Yeah.
Like the
every door on any ship.
Yeah. and I will say, like, so it honestly becomes kind of funny, but the Foley guys committed so much that there is one time where a door closes and someone specifically with dialogue says, close this door, but the camera turns so you don't see it, and they still put the noise in. And I was like,
yep.
It honestly made me laugh. Or snicker. I was like, all right, like, you've committed to it. Just
and there's one where like somebody's walking off and opening doors, like going somewhere off screen, and you still hear the
yeah, like off in the background.
Yeah.
There's another neat sound when they actually jack into their oxygen in the spacesuits that they're in. There's this weird like beep sound that signifies that they now have oxygen. I think that was neat too.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just some interesting touches to this thing.
Yeah, I like all the technology looks pretty good. The spacesuits are good.
Yeah,
they're a little weird. The German ones, like the helmets are way too big.
Yeah,
like, especially for Klaus Kinski's weird squished head. I'm
But
just saying, like he looked like he had like 3 feet of helmet, like he had a beehive hairdo over his head.
like he had a Mars Attack helmet on a regular person's head.
There are some points, like BJ said while we were watching it, where it's like you could see someone reach out and the space between the
that was
I said,
Carlos.
yeah,
That
I
was
said
Carlos'
that
couch.
when Robot Lady shows back up, she's just, her spacesuit is like, just a jumpsuit with like a pair of work gloves on, and it's like, I can see skin. That's not a good seal.
No, it's a bad seal. You're gonna die. At least she was a robot, so she's okay.
Maybe that's true.
Except she's not.
But aside from that, the suits look good. They have the classic problem of the in helmet lighting your face, which would fucking blind you. But like they look futuristic.
Yeah. They don't look like
technology
beekeeper
looks
outfits.
looks lived in and everything. Their flashlights suck.
Mm-hmm.
They're the worst flashlights in the world.
That is the worst technology in the film, is the flashlights. Like, you should have those Star Trek The Next Generation blind to bear flashlights.
Right. You remember those plastic flashlights you get from Radio Shack which had like the yellow bezel, and they took like 6D batteries, but it was like half a candle?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
What were those for?
For making
For
you buy
selling
fucking batteries. Yeah.
Good point.
Those I think were brighter than these.
Literally the only reason D-cell batteries existed
Right.
were for those fucking things.
To turn money into half a lumen.
But yeah, that's Creature.
Or
Yep.
like
I think we're done.
-1 candle power.
As it removes light from the
Right.
Yeah, that's Creature.
Creature.
It's a mixed bag of.
We don't really fook with the creature, but
No.
we kind of fook with the creature.
I'm gonna watch this
I
documentary.
fook with the Creature the least. So
Yeah.
yeah, with the one bag.
I'm definitely gonna watch this
Yeah,
documentary.
you're fooking with the Creature the most.
Yeah. Totally am. I don't know what that means.
Well, if you fook with us creatures, get a hold of us in some way by going to our website at bmfcast.com or sending us an email, bmf@bmfcast.com, or a voicemail, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. And if you really fook with us, then you can go to patreon.com/bmfcast and give us a little bit of money for what we do. Our Patreon takes care of our hosting and all of our other expenses, and we buy like physical discs as often as we can, so that it means that we don't have to like bore you with like ads for erectile dysfunction pills or mattresses or fucking MeUndies,
ballsack undies. We're actually okay with that.
Sacks.
We're working on the patents right now.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Undies just for your balls.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna make ball sack and briefs, boxer briefs, and then cooch scoop panties for all of our ladies.
Scoop?
Yeah, it just gives like some extra, like it's got a scoop in there to just kind of keep everything all tidy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'd probably some.
And we're not going to consult any ladies
No.
before.
We're just gonna release
We are definitely going with cooch scoop. That is that is the first and last draft.
We're not taking any notes on
Nope.
that.
Ladies, this is how your underwear works. Nobody knows more than we do
Yeah.
about ladies'
Just
underwear.
like how men design tampons, we shall endeavor to do this.
We got this.
Don't worry, it'll be great. You're gonna love it. Anyway, but yeah, so we don't have to shill fucking stupid ass products to you, including ones we've just made up. That's what the Patreon's for. We would like to thank all of our past, present, and future patrons, because it means that in these uncertain times, we don't have to worry about coming out of pocket for this shit.
And seriously, those of you who are currently with us right now on the Patreon, obviously things are weird, like super fucking weird right now for a lot of people in a lot of different situations. We are completely appreciative that you are able to stick with us and enjoy our content for $1 or $2.
Or more. Some people are doing more, and some people are doing a lot more.
Yeah,
We
I know.
appreciate you.
I just, but you
Yes,
know,
no, it is.
I mean, it just a lot of people during these times would be like, you know what, I can't.
Yeah,
I need that $1.
I've cut a bunch of my Patreon stuff back. I'm spending like $10 a month on Patreon, and I'm like, I cannot get rid of these few people. So it seems like maybe we're one of those for you folks, some of you folks out there, and we really like.
We like being essential.
We appreciate it.
Yes. Food, lights, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
God, core.
Liquor.
BMFcast.
Yeah.
Country.
Banff Country.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we make that happen? Can we get what Patreon tier is that before we can secede?
Where we just watch every season of Yellowstone on Banff Country.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Banff Country.
Yeah.
No, I was like, when can we make our own country?
Yeah. Can we buy an island off
Yeah.
of Belize and set up a currency?
I don't want to do that.
Why
I'd
not?
watch Yellowstone, though.
Why don't you want to live near Belize?
I don't know.
What you want to do, Chuck?
You won't have.
You got to Belize.
We won't make you pay very many taxes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What? If y'all are the government, why would I have to pay taxes? I'm not the fucking intern anymore. I've been here too long.
No, but Mackie's never here, and you're the only one of us in the room that's employed right
If Mackie
now.
misses one more week, I take seniority over Mackie.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, because I will have been on more episodes than he's been on.
No, you'll still be.
No.
I think that's actually true now.
Maybe.
I mean, like right now. Like
I'm just saying.
I don't think it takes any more. I think that
He's
might,
going to be our new intern
I
when
think
he
that
comes
might
back.
be true now.
He's going to have to go through the process. He'll have to get onboarded again.
Wait. Yeah.
No, he has
to
to
be
get waterboarded. That's
You know,
that's how we
no.
get doing things.
We don't
right.
do that.
Retrained.
We don't.
So
No.
Harlow,
What happened with my interview?
and you started the whole
You
thing.
did it
so,
yourself. You self-waterboarded.
So you started. You had the idea first to do the podcast, right?
Yes, I
Oh,
invented
God.
podcasts.
Right.
Yeah, you're that guy who's suing
You
everybody
should-
else.
Yeah, you should sue that guy. But no, you had the idea for this podcast first, right?
Maybe.
Because I remember somebody. It wasn't my idea.
Okay.
I don't like taking credit, so yes, but yes.
We're not.
No.
Well, okay.
I mean, yeah,
think of it
yeah.
this way.
I
I'm
mean,
not
we
going
were all
to.
we were all hanging out, and I was like, when we hang out, it is funny. We should record it and put it on the internet.
Okay, so it is your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't let you take credit, but we will
Yeah,
assign you
Sure,
blame.
that's more apt.
There you go.
So you have the longest seniority since it came to your brain first.
Right.
And then
I'm sorry.
I don't know which one of us here is faster, me or Mackie, but
I think I posed it to him first, so he's got slightly more seniority. Sorry. Only because
I've been at
my
more
reasoning
episodes
is
now,
that
so.
we seem to know more about movies, and I was like, you were part of the humor, but I was afraid that you wouldn't be keen on wanting to talk about an esoteric thing that you weren't super into. So
I'll
just saying.
talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean I think I was like Mackie and I were like, yeah, when we were talking alone, we would get like super into like deep dive movie film history shit stuff, and it was like,
And I'm an idiot.
no, it was like we were hanging out playing Rock Band and having other fun conversations, and it was like,
And
I was like, well, BJ's funny, and we were like, but Tommy, no,
And he has a notebook, and he'll take notes.
We were
I
like,
did have a
we were like,
notebook.
we pretty much vetoed out T-Strel, so sorry. I mean, he's not listening, so I don't know who I'm
He
positive.
might. I don't know.
But anyway,
He's
that's-
too
that's-
much of a wild card.
That's the history.
Too much of a
yeah.
wild card.
Yeah.
Well, it was also like I think at the time he was working like
That's
stupid
right. He
hours.
was
Yeah.
working late.
Sleeping while we were working, and vice versa.
So anyway, that's the brief.
But yeah, so
History.
I guess I'm second in line now, and you're third.
I'm third. I did it.
Hooray.
Mackie is fourth with an asterisk.
Right.
We miss you, R.I.P.
You made the bronze.
He's not dead. He's fine.
I
don't
wouldn't
know that. Yeah, I don't know that. I
mean,
can
he
I can neither confirm nor deny that at any given point in
I
time.
hear from him every day.
I'm like
we
a
texted
dog.
today, but I don't know.
When
If,
you leave the house, you are dead. Like, I have no object permanence whatsoever.
Wow.
Like until you arrive, I'm like, he's alive! Ah! Yeah. I'm not that
that
excited.
was
But
very loud.
sorry.
Well,
I get excited when Chuck shows up. Anyway, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
sure.
You can insert that 20 minutes before if you want.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a clean break to work with. So let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. Do not fuck creatures.
Do not fuck critter.
Sage advice as always.
Right.
It is. I mean, people are creatures.
Not they know what I mean.
All right, sure.
People are
Creatures.
Something you would identify as a creature.
Right.
Okay.
Don't fuck the District 9 creature thing.
That was crackly. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
how was your weekend?
Good.
I'm going to see Mackie tomorrow
Are you?
to verify that he's alive. Yeah.
He's
Are you having that
Here?
listener meetup?
Yes.
oh.
Right
Okay,
on.
Going to somewhere else. It's not here. Is it local?
Correct. It is where Mackie is currently living.
Ah.
We are going to a pizza place. I will take pictures and distribute them among the Discord or
Is
something.
it CC's Pizza?
No, it is not.
Is it that place? He was like, "Oh my God, this place."
Yeah, that's
okay.
the one.
Good. I would like to hear a report from that place.
You
I don't
could
know why.
just
I don't know why you're being cagey
Come
about it.
with us.
Because if you put those online, unless you've specifically disabled it, all your photos are geotagged. So I don't know why you're being cagey about where it is.
I'm just not putting it on the
Oh,
on
oh,
the
we
whole
just-
ass internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I'll put it on some of the internet.
I
just
didn't
not the
know if
whole
this
ass
person
internet.
that was being met up with knew that they were going to a special place. I don't.
They
I don't-
know that they were going to a
Oh.
special-ish place. Yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
a
they're going
paranoid
to a
person. I
special
just
place.
I don't think like 99% of people realize that like every photo they take on their phone shows exactly where it was taken.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yep.
There goes your alibi.
Yeah. Hello, EXIF data.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes I turn it off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I turn it back on at some point. Like I had it turned off for the longest time, but I turned it back on at some point because Google will basically show you a picture map, and if you're like, I know I was in so and so place.
Yeah. I've done that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the views in iPhoto or on the phone. I mean, I guess is iPhone even still a program, or is it
It's
called
just
photos?
called
now?
Photos.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying like that's one of the like map view is one of the things you can do just to see where all
Yeah.
your pictures were.
Yeah, that's really convenient.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course, mine it's like Atlanta, Jacksonville, Southern Mexico. It's like I mean I have like
Three places,
I have
yeah.
like 4 points, and it's like wow, I've taken a lot of photos in these 4 places.
well, mine are like Atlanta, Jacksonville, 2 in Brunswick, like the 4 photos I've taken in Brunswick, Orlando, and LA. So
It's not bad. selection.
No, it could be more. Oh no, I guess I took some in Mexico. So yeah, nice. Good job.
on. Good job.
When I was running drugs.
Oh right, I remember that.
Yeah. I tried walking drugs once.
I gave up after like the 5th season.
It's relaxing.
It's exhausting. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. How's that wet fart of a joke for the end of the episode?
Oh, let's do a better one then.
Nah.
I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ. Oh, wait a minute. That is my name.
Good joke.
It's
I'm
'cause it's
Slappy.
real.
And I'm the big one.
Yeah, I basically like because whatever. I'm just bullshitting at this point. I've kind of like I've run out of a couple games to play that I'm like, all right, it's time to turn my focus and. I still should probably go back and like finish the AFI Top 100. I really feel like I only have like 20 movies left or something, but even on both versions. But like I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna start watching movies I've never seen. I'm gonna go like I started with HBO Max. Like I said, I'm not stumping for them, but I know they have the best selection of like classic movies. As opposed to they have the Criterion and the Warner Turner Classic selection. So it's like unlike the other ones where catalog movies are an afterthought. I knew I'd find a lot there, but I didn't make it past the 9s. I watched 9.5 Weeks, which I'd never seen, and 9 to 5. So I didn't make it out of the number section.
On the video games thing, I want you to play some of these Swarm Survival games, or 1 or 2 Swarm Survival games. Like Vampire Survivors is the big one.
Okay.
I want you to play that because I just want to I want to know if you like those because there are a bunch of them and they're all like dirt fucking cheap.
Are these on Xbox or are they only a PC thing?
Some are on consoles, but I think they're mostly PC. But Steam $3 sort of thing.
Oh,
and they're like
one of the things I meant to ask is you to bring your deck. I want to touch it.
Ooh.
I want to touch your deck.
I don't have it yet.
I thought you said you had it.
I bought it.
Oh,
I gotta wait for it.
oh.
Yeah, you $5 reserved it, right?
No, I paid.
Oh, that's right. You got your letter.
Yeah, the time has shrunk where my reservation was only in for like 3 or 4 days before they said your Steam Deck is here, pay us. And I did that, and I'm just waiting for it to come here to me.
I gotcha. My mistake. I thought
A lot
you
of
said
people
you
seem
had
to
it.
be liking them.
Yeah.
You can hack the shit out of them. So.
Yeah. Do you have a Vita?
Vader.
I honestly don't know if I still do anymore.
Are you offering?
No.
You got Vitas?
No, I just hacked mine to do stuff, and since I'm knowledgeable about it, if you had one, I said, let me hack yours. No.
Yeah, I'll look. I mean, strangely, if I still have it, like the thing is, like I sold either my PSP or my Vita, and I don't remember which one it was. I know that's a big difference of time, but Tommy wanted wanted one of them. For hacking purposes, and I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the PSP. I think I still have my Vita, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Cool.
I have a Vita TV.
That's exciting.
Whatever that can do.
Nothing.
Can play PS Vita games.
Some of them.
Yes.
Except for the ones
select
except for the ones that need the touchy stuff.
Right. I would be surprised that they wouldn't like build that touchy stuff functionality into the touchpad on the PS4 controller, or not build it into, but like let you use the.
Yeah, but the Vita was PS3 era. They didn't have that. It wasn't even a thing. Like the.
Oh, it was still going in the PS4 because there was remote play. You could play PS4 games on your Vita.
Yeah, and they also had like I remember with PS Plus because I didn't have PS Plus until until I got a PlayStation 4. I don't know if it existed before then, but they were always giving away.
Yeah,
Vita
you would get
games.
like 2 Vita games a month.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have a Vita.
Right.
So.
Wasn't it? It was PS3 era, wasn't it? Or was that the PS3?
It came out in the PS3
Yeah,
era
I thought
and
it was.
carried over into the PS4 era. And
Right.
they built in this app where you could play the PS4 on your Vita on the same network.
Oh, right, yeah. Yes. I do remember that.
So didn't work very well.
No. Most remote
Mackie kept trying to do it at work.
most remote play
Oh,
things
yeah, it did
still
not
don't.
work.
I still don't understand why people think that's an option. I mean, I guess if you have nothing better to do, but man, I don't get it.
I can understand like, man, I travel for work and I can't bring my Xbox. I would like to play a video game.
Sure. I feel like what is playable is so limiting. Like, anything that's like twitchy is not really doable.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. There are so many games out there that are just totally chill,
Stardew Valley.
shit like that.
Which I guess apparently that Disney game's more like that than Animal Crossing.
I was gonna say like your Disney game is probably pretty chill.
Mm-hmm. Except it has weird, strange lags in places, even on the XS. Like I don't know, there are a lot of like interactable objects on the screen at certain points. Like I mean, if it's counting every object as a a thing with its own calculation.
Blow out your XS.
Well, I just mean like you might walk somewhere and it's like there might be a fish thing that might spawn when you might see some of your crops, and you might see like harvestable things on the ground plus like random wood and stuff that drops on the ground. It's just like at certain points of the game you'll hit there and it's like if you think about what's on screen, it's like there's 300 or 400 things with their own little AI going on behind them with like drop rates and stuff.
You want to see like the wireframe number system that's going on behind.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a couple points where it's like you'll turn and it's like, oh, the draw distance, it's like it just slowed down, or it's just like, oh, that's too much on screen. Oh no! I can't even imagine people playing on like the Switch and stuff.
I can. I'm imagining people playing it on the Switch.
Yeah, probably on rooftops.
Yeah.
All right, bye. Bye.
Goodbye, Internet. It was nice to have you. Take care.
It was nice to be had.